All right, everyone, quick check-in. Hope you're doing good today. Now listen to this, because something unusual is brewing in Cleveland, and trust me, it's not about the weather. For years, the Cleveland Browns have carried a harsh label across the league, a place where quarterbacks' careers seem to fall apart. New names appear, excitement builds, then everything crashes, and somehow the same story keeps replaying. But hold up, because lately the spotlight has shifted to one specific player, Shedeur Sanders. Some fans are convinced he might finally be the guy who flips the entire script. Others are already shaking their heads saying he's not the solution, and girl, the man hasn't even played a full season yet. And honestly, that opens the door to a much bigger conversation. Is the Browns' quarterback struggle really about talent, or is something deeper going on inside the organization and the fan culture around it? Because according to longtime Brown supporters and media voices, Cleveland may have built one of the harshest environments in football for any quarterback trying to succeed. And once you really start unpacking the history, the mindset, and the chaos surrounding this franchise, the Shedeur Sanders debate suddenly starts making a lot more sense. But to truly understand what's unfolding right now, we need to rewind to a time when the Browns were actually one of the NFL's powerhouse teams. And a lot of younger fans today barely remember that chapter. Believe it or not, there was a period when the Cleveland Browns were not the punchline of league jokes. Back in the 1980s, this team was legitimately one of the toughest competitors in the NFL. With guys like Bernie Kosar commanding the offense, Cleveland was constantly battling for division crowns and serious playoff runs. The fan base was intense, loyal, and emotionally tied to every moment of the team. Back then, quarterbacks actually had time to develop. A bad interception one Sunday didn't instantly put your job on the line. Players knew the city had their back. But everything flipped in the mid-1990s when the franchise left Cleveland and moved to Baltimore, eventually becoming the Ravens. For many Browns fans, that moment felt like the city lost a piece of its soul. And when the Browns finally returned in 1999 as an expansion franchise, expectations were through the roof. Fans believed the team would simply continue where the old Browns left off. The problem is, that's not how expansion teams operate. It usually takes years to rebuild talent, develop players, and build real chemistry. But Cleveland fans weren't interested in waiting. They wanted wins immediately. And that relentless pressure slowly created one of the toughest situations for quarterbacks anywhere in the NFL. Since rejoining the league in 1999, the Browns have rotated through an almost unbelievable number of starting quarterbacks.
Dozens of different names have taken their turn under center. Some arrived as rookies, others were experienced veterans, some were labeled franchise saviors, and almost all of them eventually became the next target of blame. Every time, the exact same storyline unfolded. The quarterback shows up surrounded by hype. Early struggles happen, which is honestly normal in the NFL. Fans and media instantly start questioning whether he's the guy. Confidence starts fading, the pressure stacks up, and within a year or two, the team is already looking for the next option. Then the entire process restarts again. It happened so frequently that Cleveland eventually earned a brutal nickname across the league, the quarterback graveyard. And sure, bad roster decisions and constant coaching changes played their part, but some analysts believe the issue runs even deeper than that. Because in Cleveland, quarterbacks aren't simply evaluated over time, they're judged almost immediately. And that kind of environment makes real development nearly impossible. But hold up, because another powerful factor has quietly pushed this cycle forward for years, and that's the influence of the media. Sports media runs on strong opinions, heated debates, bold claims, and non-stop controversy. And in a sports-crazy city like Cleveland, listen to this, those debates don't stay small for long. The moment a quarterback struggles, the criticism spreads like wildfire. Local radio jumps on it instantly. Podcasts start dissecting every throw. Social media lights up with hot takes and emotional reactions. Before you know it, one rough game suddenly turns into a massive storyline about whether that quarterback even deserves a roster spot. Players hear all of it. They see it online. They absolutely feel that pressure building. And according to longtime observers of the Browns, the negativity around the team has become so constant that sometimes it feels like failure is already expected. Instead of asking how a quarterback can grow and improve, the conversation quickly shifts to who should replace him next. That atmosphere has followed nearly every Browns quarterback for the past 2 decades, from highly drafted rookies to veteran free agent signings. And now, hold up, the newest name caught in that storm is Shedeur Sanders. When Shedeur Sanders first entered the NFL conversation, he was already carrying a massive spotlight. As the son of NFL legend Deion Sanders, expectations were sky high from day one. During his college career, Shedeur produced eye-catching numbers, thousands of passing yards, dozens of touchdowns, and strong leadership that stood out on the field. Many analysts even ranked him among the top quarterback prospects in the country. But when draft night finally arrived, something surprising happened. He slid further down the board than most experts expected. Almost instantly, rumors started circulating about why teams passed on him. Some people questioned whether he was truly NFL ready, while others started floating off-field narratives.
And when he eventually landed in Cleveland, girl, the debate only got louder. Supporters believed the Browns may have stolen a hidden gem. Critics argued that his drop in the draft meant teams clearly saw something concerning, and the argument started almost immediately. But the controversy didn't stop there, because the discussion around Shedeur Sanders quickly grew into something much bigger than just football. As Sanders prepared for his opportunity in the NFL, the fan base became deeply divided. Some fans pointed to his college production and leadership as proof that he deserved a real chance to prove himself. Others stayed skeptical, citing scouting reports and questioning whether his college success would translate to the professional level. Every practice update, every preseason pass, every rumor suddenly became fuel for the debate. On social media, the arguments between fans seemed endless. Some insisted he was already being judged unfairly. Others pushed back and said the hype surrounding him was completely overblown. And like so many modern sports discussions, the entire thing turned into a battle over narratives. Instead of focusing strictly on football performance, the conversation shifted toward reputation, perception, and sky-high expectations. And for some observers, hold up, there's an uncomfortable layer that's been part of football conversations for decades: the treatment of black quarterbacks. For much of NFL history, black QBs have faced doubts and stereotypes that their white counterparts rarely encountered. Questions about intelligence, leadership, decision-making, and even work ethic. Players like Doug Williams, the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, had to battle those narratives every step of the way. Later stars like Donovan McNabb, Cam Newton, and Lamar Jackson faced similar scrutiny at different points in their careers. Many fans and analysts agree the league has made progress over time, but the conversation hasn't vanished entirely. And when Shedeur Sanders stepped into the spotlight, some supporters felt the criticism surrounding him carried echoes of those old biases. They highlighted his work ethic, preparation, and football upbringing. After all, his father is one of the most iconic football minds of his generation. Others dismissed those concerns completely, saying criticism is just part of pro sports. Either way, one thing is undeniable: the expectations on Sanders are massive. And now, the Browns organization finds itself right in the middle of another quarterback saga that could shape the franchise's future. While fans rage online, the front office seems to be quietly making moves behind the scenes. Roster tweaks, offensive line upgrades, strategic signings. Some analysts think these moves hint that the team may actually be getting ready to give Sanders a legitimate shot. Maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. If that happens, it would mark another major chapter in the Browns' long quest for a franchise quarterback. And if Sanders succeeds, it could flip the narrative that has followed Cleveland for decades.
Because the Browns don't just need a talented quarterback, they need stability, leadership, and someone who can handle the insane pressure of one of America's most passionate and impatient sports cities. For years, Cleveland has lived in this relentless cycle: hope, expectation, disappointment, repeat. Quarterbacks come in with promise and leave under fire. Fans get frustrated. The search starts over. Now, Shedeur Sanders stands at the center of that storm. Some believe he could finally be the QB to change the franchise's trajectory. Others are already bracing for the next chapter in the Browns' long history of failed experiments. But one thing is crystal clear. If Sanders does succeed in Cleveland, it won't just be a win for one player. It would prove the Browns and their fans are finally ready to break the cycle that has haunted this team for over 20 years. And if that happens, the entire NFL might have to rethink everything it thought it knew about the Cleveland Browns.